All right, so um, tonight we're going to go over the Landgeist version of getting into SSH remote capture. So there will be machines on the InRange that you are going to. The machines will be being attacked. You will not be able to see them being attacked unless you're inside of them. Those machines will not have Wireshark on them. Long story short, you have to get in the machine. You have to actually collect the network traffic from that machine because we're not running this promiscuous on the range. Um, that being said, you got two options. The first, honestly, is the more versatile and more complicated version. That is the pipe, the FIFO pipe. We're not covering that tonight. What we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to go down to method 2, which is the SSH internal remote capture. So as you see up here, I have Kali box and several Ubuntu. So I'm going to get into my Ubuntu box over here, and I'm going to just turn on the ability to remote capture. So as much as I like to go through everything, talk through it, we've been through this enough. So I'll pull this all the way out so you can see it. And remember what this is doing is we're going to replace anything with password authentication to password authentication yes. And then we're going to restart our SSH. So that all goes back to SSH Sherlock. All we really need to know about this is we can now password authenticate. Password is password, username is Ubuntu, straightforward. So let's actually get into what we need to do, which is if all we have on this device, what we need to do, you can see, I was trying to get into this here on the range and it wasn't working. So I just left that alone. I opened it up in my own window and we'll leave that up to cyberguide.org to figure it out. So that being said, here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up my terminal, so Control Alt T, and then just easier for me. And then even though I don't need the sudo here, I'm going to open up Wireshark. All right. So we're going to do sudo capture in Wireshark, and you can see in the tutorials here that I have this information. I'll go ahead and try to make it bigger because what's the point of having a small screen? All right, so what we're going to do is use the SSH capture feature right there inside. So you can come down here and select it here, or you can come up here, capture options, and same idea. We're going to get down to dependent, and yeah, we're going to start. So it wants our server. Our server is literally just this Ubuntu machine. This is our server. This is our client. So we're going to go 10, 15, 13, 98. And then standard port for SSH. You kind of need to know that. If it's running on a different port, you're going to have to search for it and find it. There's scripts and nmap for that. You might have to do this with a different port, but we're doing it the easy way now. Go to authentication. The username is Ubuntu and password. Okay, that's all we need there. And then capture. This is where it gets a little bit dicey in terms of why we're doing what we're doing, and you might be able to get around it with other ways. But remember the interface. If you don't know the interface, that's problematic. So in order to find the interface, what you're going to have to do, or what you could do, is open terminal here, and you would just have to SSH over to that. Maybe I got that right. Probably not. It's waiting too long. Try to type too fast, my man. All right, so I go here, IP adder. If you didn't see that, it's up here, and ENS5. So I can get in there. Fine, cool. I can get into it. But ENS5 is what I need for this because I'm capturing theirs and not mine. If I were to open up my own and I were to say IPAdder, I would see mine is ETH0. So whatever. ENS5 is who I'm capturing from. And then I'm going to throw in a couple flags here. Honestly, teaching you how to do the dumps. So I could just go dump, but it didn't like that because I need to run it with sudo. So basically, this is the same kind of flag set that they would be using if I were to do the TCP dump, and this is the one that was working with us earlier. So once again, this interface of ENS5. And then the one thing we're going to also add, because everything here is done off of SSH, we don't really care to see what we're asking it to do because this port 22 is what we're getting there. So I did say use sudo on the remote machine, and that seemed to work. Everything else, cool. Select start. All right, so in all theory, I'd be getting something from, okay, here we go. So how do I test this? I have something here. Basically, how I test this is I'm actually going to ping them and see if it comes up. And I'm actually going to ping them from not my device, although you only have 2 devices. So if you have a friend with another device on the network, cool. So I'm going to come over here, get into another device, and I'm just going to ping this 10.15.13.98 from this terminal. So I'm opening the terminal. I could Control-T that, doesn't really matter. But I'm just going to ping that 10.15.13.98, fire away, go over to my Kali box, and sure enough, okay, so I can validate that I am getting those ping requests. And as a foot stomp reminder, getting into statistics, getting into conversations, IPv4, I can see that here I am, this conversation with 253 here. Yeah, this guy right here. So I could take a look and make sure I'm validated. So to get into Wireshark and start capturing Wireshark traffic from a remote device, which you're going to have to do at times, this is another simpler way. Okay, out here.